early childhood. And I wonder if you can talk about what the science tells us about these early relationships and the way that they set the foundation of how we are as adults.
So I'm glad that you said that because the research actually shows something very, very surprising. And it really, I think, in a way, dismantles some of the biggest myth in psychotherapy and in popular psychology today.
Okay.
There's this idea that our attachment styles as adults are basically something that developed in early childhood. But when you look actually at the research and you look at the attachment styles that kids have and then their attachment style in adulthood, you see that there's a very modest correlation. It's like less you can explain like less than 10% of the adult attachment style can be explained by childhood attachment style. And actually 90% is not explained by that, but by other factors that happen later in life. In fact, we can and do change our attachment styles and we can change it all the time. And I find that to be a very, very, very promising. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book, because I really thought it hard about how I can help people like in a very orchestrated way. What tools can they use to change their attachment style to become more secure? So our childhood relationships are not destiny, and not only that, like I told you about Ruth, we have different relationships with different people
Right.
in our childhood, and we're a very sophisticated social animal. Our brains are extremely sophisticated social machine, so we can actually tap into different experiences that we've had, bring them to the fore, and use them to become more secure.
Okay. One of the things that you did talk about, it ties back, is that security isn't just about comfort. And you talked about a little bit about this thing that you called the exploratory drive. And I think what you said is the safer you feel, the more willing you're going to be to take risks, which gets back to a little bit to your story about Ruth. But maybe build on that for me a little bit, if you would, please.
Yeah, so imagine this scenario where you take a toddler into a room full of toys with his mom, his caregiver, his dad, and then immediately they're going, oh, they start pointing at the toys. They want to play with them. They start like playing with the toys. They're completely invested in this new environment. I don't know if you remember. I remember how much I used to love toys as a kid. Like I used to love going to toy stores,
Of
and it was
course.
just like, of course, it's just like such a thing. So they see all these new toys, but every once in a while they look back to see if the parent is there, and if they're there, they just like continue
That's
playing
a
with the
great,
toys.
great story. Yep.
But then when you ask the parent to leave the room for a moment, everything changes. They drop everything, they rush to the door, they bang on it, they start crying. They all of a sudden the whole interest in the toys just like goes away. You try to give them a toy, they'll throw it in your face. They couldn't care about it. So it just shows you the very strong connection between our attachment, how we feel safe, and our exploratory drive. So now as adults, we don't play with toys anymore. And like I couldn't care. Hey, I'll enjoy going into a toy store, but it's like, but we have hobbies, we parent, friends, we have interests. So we explore in different ways, but the exploratory drive is still tied very closely to our attachment. And if we have a secure attachment to people around us, they fade into the background. We don't think about them much, just like the parent when they're back, and then we check on them every once in a while. And then if they're there, we can explore the world and engage in our work. But if the relationship is insecure, like we lose that ability to explore the world. We can't, we're like, where's the
Yep.
person? Why are they not texting me? Like, is everything going to be okay? We like, it demands a huge energetic load from our brain, and we can't engage into the world. And we can't engage in the world as when the way that we can when we're securely attached.
That's a really good way of explaining it.